welcome. This is Jerry. In this video we're going to talk about this particular vehicle screen. This vehicle is a 2019 Volkswagen Touareg. This is the same generation as you'll be looking forward: 2019, 2020, 2021 and now 2022. So there will be minor change, very minimal changes on here and there in terms of features and configurations. Obviously, depends on where you're from, you may have a little bit more features or a little bit less features, but this is the highest spec that's available in New Zealand. You should find this similar if you're looking for one of these vehicles. So I'm gonna cut this into a few different sort of clips. I'll leave my timestamps down below, so you can click that through to go through different vehicle features and all that things. And yeah, it's gonna take us a while. Let's get into it. And before you go ahead, make sure you click the subscribe button and like the video if this is helpful, and your help is definitely appreciated. Cool. So first thing you always notice is button over here. That's for your home button. So if you're at home button, you just simply click this button. You'll shift in between two screens. You can also swap left and right with a wave gesture. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not as fast as you like, but that's how it works. Wave gesture in front of the screen. Now wave accordingly. So press this button for the home screen. Next one, we're gonna go through the menu. So we're gonna talk about everything in the menu. So press the menu button. First one is the radio control. So in New Zealand, we get this logos preset. If you're looking for the latest 2021 and 2022 model, unfortunately you don't have these logos anymore. So, but this is how the radio screen looks like. This on the top, it will display your radio screen, the radio stations you're listening to. At the bottom, that's your preset settings. And then at the bottom here, you have the band settings. So you have FM, AM. If you change that, second button, station list. That's basically all the station lists available in this particular area. You will see the star button on the right hand side. That's your preset saved station. If there's no star button, that means you didn't set this preset. By the way, you can select as by group, by gene, by graphic bit, basically. So that's all available. Let's say if you're gonna listen to this particular station, all you need to do is click coast. It's showing it's listening. Let's click that. You can see the top. It's listening to coast at the moment. But because it's not your preset, so nothing's light up over here, if you do want to wish to select coast as the favorite station in the first screen, press and hold this bar, hear the sound. Now it's saved at first. Unfortunately, when you save it, your logo will be removed. So if you want to upload logo, I'll go through that later on. Next one will be menu. We have menu, so you can manually adjust your radio stations. You can also go left and right to change your stations. That's pretty simple. And after that, so you can click the menu, all that things, and then you can also swap left and right to your favorite stations. So you get about 18 of them you can preset. At the moment that 12 of them are filled, basically. So that's the radio stations. And you can also click scan. So if you're not sure what you want to listen to, you can click the scan to scan your radio stations next and last. So that's pretty standard. After that, we get a settings button. So the settings button allows us to see all the things about sound settings and all that things. So we get sound. You can change your volume, bass, treble, and all that things over here. Again, you have the particular settings in the menu, sound settings in the menu anyway. Scan, again, that allows us to scan the audios and to stop anywhere, all that things. You can click and scan on the top. You can see the scan logo. Next one, we get the traffic program. So it's related to somewhere you go to the tunnel does have traffic program. The vehicle radio reception will enable that traffic program. Again, it's up to your choice if you want to tick that or untick that. Second one, you can delete presets. If you want to delete presets, you obviously just simply press the button. Third one, you can upload station logos. So at the moment we got these ones. You can delete, you can upload, all that things. To upload the station logo, you have at the very bottom tray you get the USB storage space. You have to use a USB stick to download the images and then upload over here when your USB is connected. So again, this is only available on the 19 and 20 version. If you're looking for the 21 and 22, unfortunately we haven't figured a way out to add that logos in New Zealand version just yet. So that's station logos. Radio text, that's basically your description for the radio. Again, that's from the radio stations. It's up to you to see if you want to take that or untick. Advanced settings, you get this frequency change, all that things. It's a little bit more technical. You don't need to change this really. Otherwise, we can close. That's our radio stations. Easy. Next, we are gonna go through telephone. So you can obviously connect your smartphones to the vehicle screen. And to connect it, obviously you just select device, and obviously you have presets radio and how do you say, mobile phones. In case your mobile phone shows up here, it's try to connect automatically. At the moment nothing is around, so it doesn't allow us to connect just yet. And then when you click settings, you can select your smartphone. This is all presets that previously connected, and click that. You can have Bluetooth settings. So obviously the visibility, the Bluetooth is switched on, visibility is visible. That means from your phone you can search this device and find this device. You can also see your pair device as well. So if you want to connect one of them, you just press 1, then connect the smartphone. If you don't want to delete anyone, for example, I'm going to delete the iPhone, click delete, and that would be deleted, just like that. And then you can find your device. Obviously Bluetooth audio is enabled as well. That means when you connect to Bluetooth, you can make phone calls and you can play music as well. In case you don't want to play music, all you need to do is just untick that, so you can only do access phone calls. So I'm going to quickly show you on my phone with how to connect smartphone. What we do is we find the device over here, and I'm going to go through the phone, go through the settings, and make sure I select Bluetooth, make sure this is switched on, just like this, and wait for a couple seconds. You can either click results. Now you can see my phone pops up. That's my iPhone. Press this button. You can either click just hand-free or Bluetooth audio. So I'm gonna click Bluetooth audio because that allows me to connect both ways, hands-free and Bluetooth audio. So I'm gonna wait for a couple seconds. Oh, not responding. So another way to connect, obviously, if that doesn't work, you just simply go to your settings and go to your Bluetooth. We're gonna need to find this device. So let's go to the Bluetooth. You can see the name of this one. You can actually change this, by the way, VWD with the 5968. Now you can see on my phone it pops up. All I need to do is just click and click pair. All right, click pair and click yes. And now do all the contacts. Obviously, I'll be driving this car. I can always click allow and the notification okay. So just verifying passcode and all that. Now it's connected. You can add your contacts, you can add your favorites, you can dial a number, you can see your contacts, you can see call history, everything. On my phone I have nothing. This is just a dummy phone I use to play pair phones. So but this is how it looks like. And when your phone is connected, you have this menu sign that allows you to go to media. So once we connect media, you can select source. Then now we have Bluetooth audio, just like this. And if you're looking for the 19 and 20 version, you are also able to use USB and SD card in the center console and the glove box. Otherwise, you just use Bluetooth audio to play whatever music you're playing. Again, when you play anything, you can go to previous, next, and play. And you can do all the selections, all that things. You can do settings, you can change these things and all that. So that's pretty easy. Otherwise, if you want to go back to radio, just click the radio again. Just like that. Next one, we're gonna go to vehicles. So this is the complete this is gonna be taking very long to go through the vehicle features. So whenever you click vehicle, you also have direct buttons, just this one as well. Otherwise, click menu, click vehicles. That shows you the vehicle settings. So first thing we have is your selections. So we have selections for off-road, convenience consumers, driving data, and vehicle status. So at the moment we're gonna select off-road. So display shows us the off-road settings. We can change all the things, your height, your direction, your degree of gravity, all that things, your fuel consumption, your oil temperature, all that things. So you can change whatever you like with this off-road when you go off-road, obviously. Second one, we can change convenience consumers. So that allows us to see what's the consumption with us driving the vehicle, with the air conditioning, all that things. Next one, we have driving data. So that allows to display all the things about the long-term, short-term driving, so the fuel consumption. You can see this vehicle is averaging 8.1 liters per 100 km. When you see these bars on the top, that allows us to go left and right to see refueling or restart or long-term, all that things. Whenever you see this wave gesture icon at the bottom, that means you can wave left and right. Again, it doesn't react every single time, so sometimes it takes a few times. Other than that, we have driving vehicle status. So at the moment it shows us we have oil level, that's max, so that means our vehicle is healthy, it just needs service. And click right, we have vehicle status, so that's all good. But obviously if your tire is punctured, you get a low tire pressure warning, or your coolant is low or anything like that, it's going to pop up in here with the notification, or you just click into that to look into more details. It also does have stop start is off, I switch it off. Start stop as information is off as well. You can see our driver one, you can see different drivers as well. We'll go into that later. Click right, you get your tire pressure monitoring system. So your tire pressure stand normal, but in case one of the tire pressure drops too low, it's going to give us notification on the dashboard. And right, we're going back to oil level. So you can change whatever you like to display over here with your selection. And then yeah, that's basic selection. Service, you just press this button. It does give you a notification what's the service due, what's the inspection due, by case or by time, or other things. Just like that. And the most important part would be in the settings. So if you any vehicles, just click vehicles and click settings. We are able to see all the information over here. So the first one is your ESC system. So that's your stability control systems. So at the moment that's activated, you can turn it off, you can turn it to sporty settings, depends on how you like to drive the vehicle. Normally, if standard, if you're driving around city area, obviously activated is the safest way. But if you're going to off-road or anything like that, you may want to switch it off. That's up to you. Tires, so we have the standard tire monitoring systems. So the load, you just want to standard will be okay. Unless your vehicle is fully loaded with quite a lot of weight, you may want to switch to fully loaded. In normal standard conditions, standard will be okay. Comfort depends on how you want to process it, but standard is my preference. You can also have winter tires with speed warning, all that things. In case you're driving in winter condition in New Zealand, this is very rare, so we're not going to switch it on. In case you switch it on, you have a warning at some speed, you may want to make sure you switch it off at some point. Personalization, so the vehicle does have that personalization settings. What that means is when you drive the vehicle, when you start the vehicle or anything like that, your sitting position and your radio control, your AirCare switch to your last sort of exit position, or switch to your memory settings. And you can have all the drivers, even guest settings, and you can personalize these things. You can rename it, you can copy settings to another account, you can reset user account. All the things depends on how you like it. You can, if in case you don't want it, you just deactivate it as well by tick and untick. And key assignment, so key assignment can be automatic or manual, so you can set it up with the key with your preference. Let's say I'm holding one key at the moment and I want to assign this key to my position, to the driver one, or I need to just press this assign current key to the current account. So now whenever I jump in the vehicle with this particular vehicle key, the seats, the mirrors, the AirCare will switch to my last exit position or my favorite memory settings, all that things. So that's how to use that. Otherwise, if you don't care about it, you just deactivate it if you're only the sole driver, basically. And close this. We're gonna go to the lights. So light settings. So we have light assist on this vehicle. So that's pretty much like auto high beam, auto assist, all that things. Switch on time, so it's going to be medium. What that means is you're going to have the automatic lights will switch on for you when it's dark enough. Basically, you can do high, medium, that would be just standard. Early will be very early to switch it on. So preferably the medium will be okay for most people. Right? Then next one, you get auto headlight control. So as long as the rain sensing wiper feels rain at the front, the auto headlights will switch on automatically as long as your auto is on, by the way. Convenience turn signal, so this particular convenience turn signal, so that means when you use indicator with a very light touch, not all the way, the vehicle will give you 3 turning signals and then switch it off automatically. So that's very handy. Obviously when you drive on motorway, you just have a quick lane change. Again, if you don't want it, you can untick that if you don't like it. Instrument switch lighting, so in case you want to switch your instrument lighting on up and down, you can do this by switch lower or switch higher. And coming home and leaving home function, what that means is if you switch on or switch off the vehicle when it's dark enough outside, the vehicle headlight stays on for about 10 seconds. This is 10 seconds at the moment. You can switch longer for 20, for 15, or for 10. Or leaving home, you can switch to longer and shorter as well. So depends on how you like it. That allows you to see your driveway, see your parking space, all that things. Next, we will have the driving assistance. so that have a complete package of driving assistance on this vehicle. First one is called adaptive cruise control. So whenever you want to see anything, just press this button. That allows you to select. First thing is the last distance selected. What that means is if you jump out the vehicle, you go back to the vehicle again, your cruise control setting initially, it's gonna remember your distance, the distance between you and the front vehicle. And the distance settings, it's going to be medium at the moment, so we get 5 distance to choose from. So when you set the cruise control on motorway, it's going to give you bars in front of your vehicle. Very close will be 1 bar, close will be 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bars, and 5 bars. So that's your distance between the front vehicle. So at the moment, distance is selected at medium, but when you drive, obviously you can just touch the button to switch that. In case you want to read anything more, you just press the information. That allows you to see what this function does with adaptive cruise control. Next one, front assist. So that's the traffic monitoring system. So basically, in case just before you crash into something or someone, the vehicle will give you a warning sound, and then at the last second, the vehicle will give you a full emergency stop if necessary, or at least slow you down to a safer speed. So the advanced warning, so that's medium at the moment. In case you don't want the warning, you can also switch it off, but something I prefer will be okay at medium. Display distance warning, so in case you drive on motorway, then you are following the vehicle too closely, the vehicle will give you a small warning at the front on your dashboard. So in case you don't like it, you can take it off. Information, so that's basically your information when for the front assist. Otherwise, click that. In case you want to switch any of these things off, you can also press this button to switch it off. You can see now it's clicked off and ticked on. Emergency assist, that's basically your emergency assist in case you're not actively steering, you're not actively responding to the vehicle features, the vehicle will give you emergency assist. Lane assist, so that's your lane departure warning. So in case you don't want the active lane guidance, so once it's ticked off, that means the vehicle will not give you engage your steering assist unless you are close to your lane marking. But if you activate this, the vehicle basically give you a full lane assist whenever you drive over 60 kilometers per hour. And next one, steering wheel vibration. So in case you go over your line marking and over 60 kilometers, the vehicle will give you that vibration on the steering. Again, if you don't like it, just untick this. You get other information as well if you want to read through. Side assist, that's pretty much your blind spot detection. So you get brightness. In case you want to do, you can change the brightness. So that light on the window will adjust itself the brightness. 3 will be okay, I guess that's medium. Eco assistance, so that's basically your notification when the vehicle thinks you could save a little bit more petrol or diesel actually on this vehicle, and then it will give you eco assistance information, all that things. Depends on how you like it, to be honest with you. Sometimes it can be annoying, sometimes it can be helpful. Alright, and that's not really safety related, all that things. And next one, driver alert information. So in case you are likely you've been driving the vehicle for too long, you're distracted by something, the vehicle give you alert systems. Proactive occupant protection, so the vehicle give you that so the seatbelt fastened feel when you are likely to crash into something, or when you are gonna crash into something, the vehicle to give you that. So again, you can tick and untick if you don't like it. Next one, we get parking and maneuvering. So the parking pilot, so how that works is when you get close to something, when you reverse or getting in front of the vehicle, and the vehicle give you that volume and beeping sound telling you that you are close to something. If you don't like it, you can obviously disengage that. I don't think many people will mind it. Front volume and rear front tone setting, rear volume, rear tone setting, you can change that if you think it's too loud, too heavy, or too low. Depends on your preference. Entertainment volume reduction. So basically, when you listen to a music, when you reverse and the vehicle give you that beeping sound, it will reduce the entertainment volume, reduce your radio or reduce your music playing. So you can change that by swipe up and down. So that allows you to reduce that reduction. Basically, again, depends on how you like it. Rear traffic cross alert. Basically, when you reverse the car park, if someone is crossing behind you, the vehicle give you that warning sound. Again, this is something I personally quite like, but you can disengage and engage by yourself. Next one, we have the background lighting. So the background lighting goes around the vehicle, so two ways, and in this vehicle there's only one single color, by the way. In case you have selected ambient lighting, you can change different colors underneath. Otherwise you can click all to change all the brightness or higher brightness. Sometimes I find the top roof lining brightness is a little bit too much or a little bit too bright. I tend to switch it off. Otherwise you get the ambient lighting on the left, on the footwell, on the front, on the door side. That's all handy as well. But if you don't like it, just press off and you can switch it off. So that's quite nice ambient lighting. You only see it at night pretty much. And mirrors and wipers. So the first one, mirrors, you get sync adjustment. So what that means is if you're gonna adjust the passenger wind mirror, the passenger wind mirror will adjust itself. But if you're gonna switch to driver wind mirror, the driver and the passenger will automatically adjust all together. I think it's helpful if you switch drivers all the time. You just only need to go to past driver, you'll be able to find your position. But that's not something most people like, to be very honest with you. Personally, I don't like it. I'll just take it off because I can switch it to left, adjust the left one, switch to the right, adjust the right one. Again, that's my preference. Your one might be different. Second one, lower while reversing. So basically when you reverse the vehicle, the wind mirror on the passenger side does lower down a little bit to help you with that, so that you can see your curbs, all that things. Again, something I prefer, but again, you can take it off. Folding when locking, that's very easy. Just when you lock the vehicle, automatically folding. Wipers, automatic wiping in rain. So again, something most of us will be prefer. Rear window wiping when reverse gear. So when you put on reverse, the rear window wipe, if your wiping position is auto or on position. You can also press this button as wiper in service position. That allows you to change the wipers when you need to, basically, but you don't have to press this when you are not using it. So that's unticked at the moment. And we're gonna go into the opening and closing. So opening and closing, we have all windows. So this is a convenience opening, by the way. We have all windows. What that means is if we have the vehicle car key from distance, you just press and hold the lock button all the time. Then all your windows wind up. Even if your vehicle is off, press and hold the unlock button, all your windows will wind down. That's how the convenience opening works. You can do driver window, you can do all windows, or you can do off. I personally quite like all windows. If you get really hot, you just wind down the windows from distance and before you get in the vehicle. And next one, keyless unlocking. Obviously we have the central keyless unlocking. We will like that. Unless you don't want to use the door handles for the keyless unlocking, you can disengage that. Door unlocking, so you can click all doors. That means when you unlock the door, all the doors are unlocked. Otherwise you can do vehicle side. But something I prefer is just all doors. It's just simple, so you don't get in trouble of unlocking the other doors for the other passengers. Lock automatic driving. So once you drive off up to, I think, 20 kilometers per hour, I may be wrong, and the vehicle automatically locks its doors. Easy open, that's for the tailgate. So if you don't like the main auto tailgate, you can disengage this. Obviously you have the manual open the tailgate. Otherwise, obviously easy open is the best way for power tailgate. Just one touch, goes all the way. Interior monitoring system. So basically if you lock the vehicle and the inside you happen to left a baby or a small pet in the vehicle, there's a motion running, the vehicle will eventually give you a warning sound in case you left something inside. And depends on what your choice. You can engage it, you can disengage it. If someone breaks your window, there's an interior monitoring as well, so it'll give you a warning as well. So that's that. Next one, instrument cluster. So that's to actually change your display in the center control unit. So the center control unit does display two things. Obviously at the moment it's on gears and range. So I can change to route guidance. So on the left it's going to show route guidance, on the right it's going to show range. So it's honestly up to you. My personal preference is for gears and range, so I can see I'm on park or drive or 30 gear on drive or anything like that. Range or show me range to empty. Also I can show speedo if you like, acceleration if you like. That's all up to you. You can do view, you can do auto, you can do classic, you can do these settings if you need to. So those are the digital cockpit that's in your central display. So that's my preference. And next one, time and date. So we can change the time and date here easy by menu or GPS. Sometimes GPS are not as reliable as we wish. So occasionally I would just switch menu. You just make sure to tick untick summertime in New Zealand. This will be helpful. Date format, I think this is going to be easy for you to figure out. 24 hours or 12 hours, that's your preference. Units, so these are preset. Whenever you are in country in New Zealand, we're going to be kilometers per hour, but if you from other places you might do miles or anything like that. Pressure will be your tire pressure. You can do PSI, you can do bar, you can do KPA, whatever you like. So that's all by yourself, again, choice. Service, that's your service reminder basically. You can also in here you can also set your service wipers in service position if you need. So yeah, that's all the vehicle settings. Again, if you want to find everything, you just go to, for example, I'm gonna go to the radio. I want to go to the vehicle settings, so I need to just press this button over here and click settings at the right bottom. Then that's all the settings over here. Make sense? Next one, we're gonna go to navigation. So this is the New Zealand navigation, by the way. In case you might have a different software here and there, you may find it differently, but it's pretty simple. You can do different positions, north, upwards, or driving direction, just like that. You can also do 3D and 2D on the other view. Press this. You can do 2D and 3D, by the way. So 3D will be like this, and 2D will be like this. So personally I prefer 2D, but some people prefer the other ways. In the view section, you can also do auto, day and night. Day, basically bright screen. Night is dark screen. Otherwise auto, it will switch on, switch off, depends on your lighting at the front. So auto is my preferred. You can do split screen as well. You can have a little bit more information on the left and a little bit more information on the right. You can choose that. POI's point of interest, I believe. So you get McDonald's, all that things, petrol station on the right hand side. If you don't like it, just untick. Nothing's on display, you get cleaner display. POI is okay for me. And other things, we're gonna go to new destination, so we can select all the things. We just don't show this again. So you can basically type your address. For example, our address is 257 King Street. You can see now it pops up. Obviously it depends on how much you type. Sometimes you haven't typed this address at all, it's not going to show up that so fast, so you may have to type a little bit more. You normally go from numbers, street and suburb and city and then country. Because you don't need country actually. And you can find this is where we are. This is going to be the station. You can save to your favorite stations. Press save to your favorite, so not stations, I mean locations. Otherwise start. The vehicle will give you a station sort of guidance, and that's our voice command. You can select the route on the top. This is the fast. The first one is easier to drive, I believe. Second one is fast. Third one is less distance. I can't remember exactly which one is which, but you select your own route. It will show green, red, and the other color, just like that. Otherwise, once it's directed, you can see the small direction underneath. We're gonna click route. You're gonna stop route guidance if you need to. Otherwise, you can change all the things. You can enter another destination. You can do change route in map, all that things. Otherwise, stop route guidance. Press that. Route guidance will stop. There's no information over here anymore. You can also see your destination. You can click your home address. You can see your last destinations. Those are just small things. You can save your current position as well. POIs, you can check your petrol station, car park and restaurants here and there. Again, depends on how updated your map is. It may not show everything over there. View, we've already done that. Announcement, you can change your announcement to low or high, or just simply push this off, just like that. So that's your announcement. And other things, traffic, you can see the traffic information around. Unfortunately, this is pretty much not New Zealand, or nothing is available in New Zealand at the moment, so we don't have that. After that, we get settings on the right hand side. We can manage your route, manage your memories, do your map, all that things. This is your personal preference. I'm not gonna go into deep to this. And you can also change the view. So at the moment that's 100 view, so we can do 6 kilometers, we can do lower to 100 kilometers, you can do auto as well, you can do other things if you like. So those are the information screen about the navigation. Next one, we have the sound stage. So we've already done that, but you can do volume. You can see all these volume adjustments. You can do for your Bluetooth audio, you can do quiet, you can do medium, you can do whatever you like with this. It's personalization. Bass, and you can change your bass, you can change your mid, you can change your treble, again, that's your preference for that. Balance and fade, you can change at the back, at the forward, going to central again. Other things, we get touchscreen tone, so I personally don't like it. When you touch the screen, it's going to give you a beeping sound. I just don't like it. No navigation announcement during calls. It's up to you if you want to take that or untick that. So that's pretty simple. Otherwise, that's all about the sound. Images, there's nothing available. You do have to input a USB or storage unit through the USB to be able to connect that image, by the way. And next one, settings. That's pretty much your screen settings. We can see the screen settings for brightness, for the touchscreen tone again, for other hand gestures, for audible hand gestures, feedback, all that things. You can take and untick this if you don't like it. Other things, language, we're gonna be UK, English, all that. But if you're in other countries, you obviously can select. You can also select male and female on the top for the announcement. Additional key languages, you don't need that, to be fair. Units, we've already gone through that. Voice control, you can use your voice control on the steering to control these few things. Not something I would use normally. LAN and hotspot, you're not connecting to anything, so you don't really use hotspot on this. Bluetooth allows us to change devices, pair devices, fan devices, all that things if you want to connect anything. Factory settings, you can reset all the things, including personalization on this vehicle with all the settings we talked about. You don't need to do that on this vehicle, so otherwise you get system information copyright underneath. So that's just all the information we need to know. App Connect, that's one small thing we can talk about. So we have App Connect with USB, with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So underneath the center console, I'm going to change the camera. So let's go to here. So we have the USB storage over there. So that allows us to plug our USB cable in here. I do have iPhone, so I'm going to show you how the iPhone works. Not the first time we got it wrong, so second time we got it right. So basically plugging, again, this is the USB-A cable on the 19 and 20 model. If you're looking for one with a 2021 or later model, you may have to have another cable, by the way. This is going to be USB-C instead. So now it's connected. I'm going to show you on the top screen. I'll change this. Let's see the screen. It's going to display, do you want to connect your Bluetooth, connect your, how do you say, Apple CarPlay as Apple CarPlay? Obviously I will click Apple CarPlay, and you can see my phone is going to show, do you want to allow this device to access me? So click allow. We don't worry about that. Now you can see that tops, that's that basically display on the top. This is how the Apple CarPlay looks like. In case you have a 2021 or 2022 model, by the way, you will be able to access to this with wireless Apple CarPlay. So that allows us to see a little bit more without even connecting the smartphone, but that's another way. So to connect the smartphone, to use the Apple CarPlay, just press this button. We have all the icons that's available. Phone, that's for your voice, for your phone call. Music, that's for our Apple Music. Maps, that's for the iPhone Maps. Again, my phone is not connected to the network, so it doesn't show anything. Message, or allows us to see the message, everything. It doesn't show you the message here, but I'll read out the message if you click that number. And you get settings, you get Volkswagen, which is your home button. Click Volkswagen, that brings up the home button, and we can go back to Apple CarPlay again, just like that. And swap left, we have Spotify, Google Maps, and again, whatever the vehicle, your phone supports Apple CarPlay, it's going to display through here. And in case you want to go home, just go back. All right, next we're going to have a quick look what's on the main screen. So from the top, you're going to have this parking assist. So this is the parking button. If you press this button, it brings up two menus. One is the parking sensor. Obviously, when your vehicle is on reverse, or when you get close to something at the front, the parking sensor automatically comes on. This is the button to engage or disengage if you want it or don't want it anymore. So you press this button, disengage, and engage. In case you have a 360 view button, when you put on reverse, obviously you can do the 360 view. You can even do press these buttons on the right hand side, allow you to see different cameras angles, all that things. On this vehicle we only have the reverse camera, so I won't be able to show you that. Second button you'll find it is parking assist button. So this is called park assist. That allows you to allow the vehicle to help you into the parking spot, either parallel or straight parking. You can see the buttons on the side. What it works is when you start driving on the road, you simply tap this button, you use indicator to indicate left or right, then the vehicle will start scanning your parking spaces. You have to make sure your speed is lower than, I think, 40 kilometers per hour. I can't remember exactly. Then the vehicle will be able to see the parking spot. If you have confirmed that, all you need to do is just basically put the vehicle on reverse and let your hands go out of the steering, but while yourself holding the brake, so the vehicle will basically go into reverse, steer for you into the parking space, and you just put on drive again, the vehicle goes forward into the parking space again. You might need to do a few maneuvers, but the vehicle will basically take your steering for you. So that's how the parking assist works. If you don't want it, just press the button, disengage that, same as the parking assist. Next one, we have the auto hold. So this function is basically to switch off the auto stop start. So if you press this button, the stop start function will deactivate it when the light comes on. So every time you switch on the vehicle, his function is ready to engage. If you don't like it, press this button, orange light comes on or yellow light comes on, means it's stopped. Next one, we have the control unit. So this is your help quick guide. Basically, you can do quick guide, you can check all these things, you can check whatever you like, you can do layout, you can do operations. So this is good just to give you a quick reference. And custom, you can configure this if you don't want it. If you want to change anything on the right hand side, you can do favorites, you can change all these lines as well in case you want to change anything. Next one, AirCare. So basically they give you a strong air filter that goes through on the cabin, then help it in case the area you stay does have that small pollution or anything like that, or even if you just want to use a fresh air, you can use this. So it will use a slightly strong sort of filter for you in the vehicle, otherwise it doesn't do anything physically. So in New Zealand we don't really need that as far as I remember. Front, and that's obviously for the front, the wind blast for the front windscreen. Otherwise you can disengage that by going through this and turn the fan speed lower, just like that. Heated seat, heated steering, heated rear windscreen. That's for the demister at the back. Other things, we have the aircon button over here. So all you need to just go into aircon. You can go top and bottom, and just front windscreen, so you can see the graphic change everything where the air goes to. Off, obviously allow you to switch it off. AirCare, again we talked about. AC is to switch on AC off. You get recirculation or non-recirculation. Sync allows you to connect all the temperature all together, and otherwise if you press this button on the left, that allows us to change different temperatures. Now you can see the sync light comes off. Other than that, we get aircon, that's the fan speed. Even if at the bottom, that's still got enough fan speed. Unless you switch it off, it will be completely off. So switch it off, just like that. Otherwise, even at the bottom, you still get fan speed. That's the lowest setting. For quick adjustments for the temperature, you can also press this icon, swipe left and right, or go left and right, press these buttons over here. So that's the quick thing. You can also click max AC if you need to. You can also use auto as if you need to. It will change to auto medium or auto high, depends on your blower settings basically. Otherwise, press this button, you can see the auto disengage. That means the vehicle will be on manual air conditioning, not auto anymore. And we also have the seat adjustments. So if you press this seat adjustment, obviously on the driver's side and on the passenger side, you're gonna have the electric buttons if it's high spec, obviously, and you can adjust these things. For example, first one is the seat depth. So just plus, minus, that adjusts my driver's side. Press this arrow, that's your cushion bolster, and your side bolster, and seat depth. So that's all the micro adjustment you can do for these electric seats. That allows us to change anything you like. And this is under comfort setting, by the way. Balance, that's your heated seats. So in case you have your heated seats at the 3 level, but you want a little bit heat at the bottom instead of on top, you can switch this up and down. Otherwise, living between is what most people prefer, I suppose, unless you are in a different scenario basically. And then other seats that allows you to sync the other seats about adjustments, about the other things. Unless your passenger is going to be happy with that, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just press this button here, and that allows you to individually change that comfort, change that balance, change the settings, all that things as well. So that's basically that. Again, in the settings, you do get XS8 driving seat, so driver seat. So that means your seats basically go automatically backwards when you switch off the vehicle, so that allows you to access to the vehicle. And when you jump in, when you switch on the vehicle, your seat goes back to your position. That's the driving seat, XS8. Otherwise, you get auto belt pre-tensioning. That's for your driver seat and passenger seat. Basically, once you drive off, the seat belt does give you a fasten, so the motion, you can feel that definitely. If you don't like it, you can take this off. Other than that, we have the heated seats over here. So that's 3-level heated seats, and then that's switched off. You can see the levels, everything here. On some of the models, you also have cooling seats, or other models you may have what do you call it, massage seats, so you can find everything in this setting. So you can change your massage settings and everything. Again, this vehicle doesn't come with it. And other things, you may also have heated steering. So again, you can just press the heated steering button, the steering will heat it up. Again, this vehicle doesn't come with it. So I think that's pretty much all about these functions and features. You also have direct buttons on the top. You want to go to the car settings or phone settings or anything like that. I do hope this big video is helpful for new owners or for the current owners, whether you're looking for a new car or used car. Make sure you subscribe and like the video if this is helpful. And if you're looking to purchase one of these Volkswagen cars or anything like that in New Zealand, you can contact me. I will leave my email address and our website down below. Otherwise, we will see you in the next video.